students. Okay, so here we are back again, and we're going to talk about the rebuttal paragraph. Now, we're still in the body of our essay, and all right, this is the paragraph that makes it a true argument, right? You take this piece out, and you basically have an informational essay. Okay, so what you do in a rebuttal is you are protecting your claim. You're protecting your claim, and you are addressing the counterclaim, okay? But backing your claim up, okay? So you've got the counterclaim, that's the opposing side, right? And you're going to back up your side with the rebuttal. So let's talk about it. Okay, just said all that, okay? Counterclaim is your opponent's claim. It's the opposite of yours. And a rebuttal defends your claim against your opponents, right? It's basically not backing down, right? Not backing down, and gives you that credibility. Okay, your rebuttal should include an acknowledgement of the counterclaim, and I have some stems here to set you up there. Some may say that cell phones should be allowed in schools. Okay, opponents will argue that we should allow students to have cell phones. It's now become a part of our everyday lives. Those who disagree, right? So you're gonna transition in, acknowledging that counterclaim, okay? However, you're going to use words to let the reader know that you're disputing that counterclaim. Words like even so or however. You know, some people are going to say it's a part of our everyday life. However, all right? Or that but, you're saying, but, they're still wrong, and here's why. You're going to use some evidence, right, to prove them wrong. So in that rebuttal paragraph, the evidence is another piece of evidence that supports your claim. Not theirs, but yours. So essentially you have evidence in every paragraph that backs up your claim, okay? All right, here's a sample rebuttal paragraph for that same essay that we've been working through. All right, this will be a third body paragraph here. Some say that students should be allowed to have their cell phones for emergency purposes. Peter Bronson, author of Smartphones, Smart Kids, says, many parents and students rely on cell phones to keep in touch in case plans change after school. All right, so that's actually text evidence that supports that counterclaim. But I'm going to refute that. I'm going to rebut that and strengthen my claim by going against them. Okay, so here I am acknowledging them. I'm like, I know what you're going to say here, but it is true that cell phones are useful for staying in touch, but students can communicate with their parents in many other non-disruptive ways. Today's schools are equipped with computers and internet access, so a student can send an email or text message through many different websites, including the cell phone's provider's website. Okay, and I'm actually putting this in parentheses here because I am citing something that I've read that says that. Okay, if internet access is a problem, every school is equipped with a phone and will allow students to call in emergencies. Some schools even send out alerts automatically to parents. If our game is canceled due to weather or anything else changes in our schedule, our administration sends a notice to parents immediately. Oftentimes, they find out before the students, Erie Athletic Director Brian Howell says. Okay, so I'm quoting some more evidence to back me up. Parents and students, this is kind of concluding here, parents and students have survived without being able to communicate through cell phones for over 100 years, and they will continue to survive without the use of them in the classroom. All right, so what am I doing here? This is that. Look at that big chunky paragraph. I love it. Okay, so I'm addressing and acknowledging the opposition's claim, the counterclaim, but I'm bringing it back to my side with more evidence. Okay. All right, and just want to show you, this is the same paragraph, but specifically how I am rebutting what they say with a very valid reason. All right, this is my own reasoning, and then I'm backing it up with more text evidence here. Okay, And again, here's the evidence, which would come from a text that you've read or research that you've done, right? And yours is going to come straight from those texts that they give you on the Tea and Ready. Okay. And then, of course, I'm ending the paragraph. And this is still really, like a tree's paragraph formula here. This would be the topic, although it's our counterclaim, right? With reasoning, okay? And then evidence and more evidence that refutes it, right? That's that whole evidence elaboration. And then I'm going to close it out with a so what sentence. And I'm ending it with a statement that's very logical and just proves my logic, all right, over the opposition's logic. All right. Again, transition words are important, okay? So, but is an example of a transition words, okay? I hear what you're saying, but, okay? Transition words are important. Okay, conclusion. Let's talk about the conclusion. Let's knock this out really quickly here. You want a conclusion that your reader won't forget, and sometimes students struggle with a conclusion, and I get that. But remember, it's a mirror reflection of your introduction, okay? So if the introduction is that upside down triangle where we're going from the hook, which is broad, and then we're bringing it into our point, okay? We're going to start with our claim again and bring it into something broader, all right? So this is our bottom bun here. So again, your conclusion should connect back to your hook and your claim, okay? Should reinforce that claim. There should be some sort of like call to action or a solution if that applies to your topic. But you ultimately want to leave your reader with something to think about. So of course I'm going to show you the same cell phone essay and the example conclusion paragraph, all right? And this is a statement that's tying back to the hook, okay? You're back in the classroom. Right? This is it's a wraparound situation here. You're back in the classroom and the buzzing of your classmate's cell phone hasn't let up. Is she receiving answers for the exam, sending images of her own tests for the next class period? You've had enough, but don't want to be labeled as a narc. Okay? Connecting it back. Let's watch what I'm doing. Okay? Going to transition in. Essentially, students shouldn't have to worry about classroom distractions, and teachers aren't paid to be cell phone police. The purpose of school is to learn. So when electronic devices like cell phones prohibit learning, something must be done. Then here's my call to action, reinforcing my claim and calling to action. A simple solution of banning cell phones in the classroom would eliminate this difficult situation. Let's make learning easier for the students, not harder. Okay, leaving a call to action, leaving something to think about. All right, so these last couple pages shows you something called MLA format, which we're going to talk about at another time. So we're going to come back to this and reference that. But again, remember that conclusion is a mirror. It is a mirror reflection, the bottom bun to your introduction. We are bringing everything full circle and leaving the reader with something to think about. Okay, hopefully this helps you understand the components of an argument essay, and we're going to jump in this week. We're going to look more at how do we elaborate and how do we just write a really strong argument piece. All right, get your guided notes finished, and I'll talk to you soon.